All right, hello. We are just going to dive right into the September astrology. I'm a couple days late, but that's okay because um, why not start with the new moon? So we have a new moon in Virgo on September 6th. New moons are always a time to set intentions, to sort of give birth to anything new that you want to set forth in the world. Um, it's a time to be quiet, a time for introversion and connection to yourself. I mean, if you think about it, the sky is dark on a new moon. And so there's that element of wanting to retreat. Uh, so with Virgo, to think about setting some intentions around the symbol of Virgo. Virgo is the archetype is a goddess. Um, she rules the digestive system. And so if we think about what, as far as the body anyway, if we think about our digestive system, it sort of has this process of accepting and then discarding. And, obviously, whatever is discarded is what we don't need, but it takes the nutrients from its environment. And so, this element of discernment, I think, would be a good intention to set around discerning what you need and don't need in your life. Also, it is an earth sign, so there is a connection to nature and a connection to food as well. Just to circle back to the digestive system, um, the sign of Virgo at the high road is this sort of like perfection in the human form. The low road of that is excessive seeking perfection that doesn't exist, because as long as we are on earth and human, we cannot be, perfect, and sort of, chasing after these ideals that are not possible. And so the low road of that can be criticism of oneself. And so, yeah, I guess what's coming to me is setting intentions that are related to femininity, setting intentions that are related to bringing something that does not yet exist, like a perfect and an idea of perfection in your mind, and bringing it into the physical reality, because that is earth. It's the physical and tangible experience that we have as humans. And also looking around you and your life and your circumstances and seeing what is necessary and what isn't. And so that is Virgo on September 6th. On September 10th, we have Venus moving into Scorpio. And Venus, that planet represents, it's feminine by nature because it's associated with the goddess of love, Venus, the goddess of love. And so there's sort of this attraction and reception energy going on. And that moving into Scorpio, Scorpio represents, it can feel dark and heavy, but it's this sort of alchemical sign: death, rebirth, transformation, deep union, intimacy. There's a lot of depth to it. And so I would think that maybe around this time there might be some things that are coming up that might feel potentially heavy. But, around this time, September 10th, maybe we can look at whatever is coming up and see how we can put ourselves in that observant mindset and what can this thing that's coming up, what can I do to transform it into something more beautiful? How can I integrate this experience and turn it into art? Because that's Venus as well. It's beauty. um, and then on September 14th, we have Mars entering Libra. So Mars represents what we pursue. It's male energy more so, masculine. I always think of like, it's just action oriented, almost physical in a sense. But because it's entering the sign of Libra, Libra is about, it's a symbol of the scales. And I'd like to think of it as balancing the scales, balancing the masculine and feminine within ourselves. I see this as a time of perhaps strengthening our partnerships, because that's Libra as well, partnership, relationship. It's an air sign, and so air signs always have to do with communication and the sharing of information. And so this might be a really beautiful time to verbally process things either with your partners, but not just romantic partners, friendships, family members, people you work with, coworkers, supervisors, that sort of thing. So peace through words in our relationships, and how we can go about strengthening those at that time. And on the 20th, we have a full moon in Pisces. So full moons are always a time of letting go. It's also a time of heightened energy. The moon is big and bright in the sky, and oftentimes it's hard to sleep, I find, at that time. It can be a time of celebration, but I think anytime we're wanting to let go, I like to focus on the shadow side of a sign. So the shadowy side of Pisces, because I want to let go, obviously, of the things that are not as savory about my actions. So the shadowy side of Pisces is sort of this disoriented idea, concept of reality. And I think it might be a good time to reflect if we've at all been immersing ourselves in habits that are escape related. And so where have I not been completely honest with myself? Where have I been out of my integrity? When have I been, just in la la land and not here, not in the here and the now? And not to say like this is not bad, but more so like just a time of self-reflection. Like, where can I be more honest with myself? What do I want to let go of? What do I want to let go of that's shadowy in Pisces? Because Pisces also, sometimes it's not always anchored in reality, which is, or at least reality in the human world, the physical world, which is actually the beautiful thing of it too. But, it wants to be like in our, when we dream at night, that's Pisces, the symbols that come up. If we use any substances that alter our reality. That's Pisces related. If we are, but I wouldn't say it's just pertaining to substances, but also like anything that we use as a form of distraction, perhaps. It can be anything. It doesn't have to be a substance. It could be, it could be even busyness. Yeah. So like what things do we fill ourselves that don't, that take us away from the reality of now? Okay, so I'll move on to the Sun entering Libra on September 22nd. And so when the Sun enters Libra, that highlights the energy of relationship, partnership. It's also associated with creativity and artistry and beauty as well. Peace, harmony, fairness, equality, just because of the symbol of the scales. I also strongly feel it's the balance of the masculine and feminine within ourselves and then in our partnerships. And so I think at that time it would be mindful to focus on our, obviously our relationships, but to be mindful of, oh, yes, it's an air sign. So again, where can I use, where can I be more mindful about my speech? Where can I be more respectful to the people around me? Where can I bring beauty and peace and harmony to everything I do that involves the other? Because Libra is all about relating to the other, and it's obviously, I think, the hardest thing in the world to relate to the other when we have our differences. And so that kind of brings me to Mercury retrograde in Libra on September 27th. So Mercury represents the mind, the way we process information, the way we communicate, the way we share information, writing, speaking, anything related to words, essentially. And so during a retrograde, it appears as if a planet is moving backwards in the sign. And I see retrogrades as a time of reflection. And so during that time, it would be mindful to reflect upon those times in which we have not used our words or we have not used our energy to bring peace to our immediate world and environment. Perhaps some reflection on the ways we function in partnership. And it's not just romantic relationships, it's friendships and coworkers. And I still think that family is a part of that as well. And so, you know, perhaps where there's been some grievances or disagreements, or, you know, how can I be sort of this bridge versus contributing to more of a divide between myself and the people around me? How can I reflect on the ways in which I have behaved over, you know, a course, let's just say the course of this month, and like when have I been lacking in that sort of peaceful, harmonizing energy and element. And when have I been out of balance within myself? I always think it's important to come back to yourself, because I think that like what I find when I myself am sort of in that balanced state, that it's easier for me to be kind, be respectful, bring peace through my words and peace through my communication, be open-minded, versus like an immediate reaction. Like if I'm working on that in myself, it's easier for me to give that to my partnerships. So with all that being said, that's all the planetary energy of September 2021. Very relationship focused, very, I think with the Virgo as well, very focused on nature and the earth element and how we can connect to that. And yeah, I guess that's all I have to say about that. If you're watching this, thank you. I'm honored. This is my first monthly astrology video, so thank you. It means a lot to me, and I appreciate you, and I wish you a beautiful month of September. All right, bye.